It goes without saying that dark side force abilities were widely and most commonly used by Dark Jedi and Sith, but by no means were exclusive to those morally corrupt, as proven by Lee's 8 Jedi who used dark side force powers. Number 8. CALLISTA MING Transfer Essence. Transfer Essence was a radical power that allowed its user's spirit to survive the point of death. It done so by relocating one's consciousness into another body, or even an inanimate object. Such a promise of immortality drew many powerful Sith over the millennia, including Darth Bane, Exar Kun, and Darth Sidious. But the ability to become something much more than a mortal being also caught the attention of Jedi Knight CALLISTA MING. By transferring her soul into the mainframe of the Eye of Palpatine, Ming was able to inhabit the Imperial Battle Station's gunnery computer, which she done so for some 3 decades. Unfortunately, when it came time to transfer her spirit once more, the Jedi had to surrender her connection to the light side of the Force. Number 7. JADEN KORR Force Rage. Through the medium of video games, millions of Star Wars fans across the globe have been able to control their favourite Jedi and Sith, and some have even allowed us to utilise dark side force powers even as the former. A brilliant example of such is JADEN KORR from 2003's Jedi Knight Jedi Academy, who, at the player's request, could learn Force Rage. This allowed the Jedi to channel his innermost fears, pain and hate into impressive feats of speed, strength and anger. There was one drawback, however. If KORR or any of his fellow Jedi were unable to snap out of the fury, their allegiance to the light side would sever. Number 6. KATARN Force Destruction and Force Lightning. Sticking with the Jedi Knight video game series, it appears JADEN KORR wasn't the only playable character known to use dark side force powers. And while KATARN was famously subjected to force destruction thanks to Jarek, the Jedi could also launch large collections of force energy to vaporise close range targets. But that's not all. KATARN was not one to shy away from force lightning. So whether it be channels of focused power or deadly waves of electricity, KATARN could change the outcome of a battle at the tip of his fingers. Literally. Number 5. STARKILLER Force Lightning. Given his status as a clone of Galen Marek and the apprentice of Darth Vader, it should come as no surprise that STARKILLER was attuned to the dark side of the Force. However, even as a reformed Jedi, Subject 1138 wasn't ready to forget his training. In fact, STARKILLER was able to incapacitate Vader in their duel on Kamino through the use of Force Lightning, thus allowing the Dark Lord's arrest. Number 4. SHAAK KINETTE. I sure hope you haven't had enough of Force Lightning yet, as KINETTE was simply another version of the power. However, instead of burning or electrocuting its target, the sphere of restrained kinetic energy acted like a solid projectile, meaning it could be thrown at enemies. But if used defensively, KINETTE could be deflected back to its origin. Such was the case when Luke Skywalker, with help from Obi-Wan, repelled Darth Vader's attack on Minban. Nevertheless, the power was used more often than not to subdue targets, thus making it ideal for Jedi like SHAAK. Number 3. CADE SKYWALKER Dark Transfer and Memory Walk. Dark Transfer was an extremely rare force power that revived those on the brink of death. Though it could be only accessed through the dark side, at least initially, CADE SKYWALKER was the only known being to have learned the skill on his own accord. As a result, the Jedi revived a string of companions, including Wolf Sazin, Marasiah Fel, Delia Blue, and his very own mother, Morrigan Cordy. Another dark side ability utilised by Skywalker was Memory Walk, which he used against Darth Maladi in Lair Duel on Wayland. This allowed Cade to reach into Maladi's mind, forcing her to relive all of her most embarrassing and painful memories. Number 2. JACEN Solo Drain Knowledge. Speaking of mind probing, Drain Knowledge was another dark side tool used to steal deep memories and information in a violent manner, which often damaged the victim psychologically. Users of the power included Darth Revan, Kreia, Darth Selthar, Count Dooku, Darth Vader, Jarek, Darth Talon and, unusually, JACEN Solo. Yes, despite treading the line between good and evil, Solo performed Drain Knowledge during his time as a Jedi. He used such to bore into the mind of the former Queen Mother Tatum, leaving her with permanent brain damage. Number 1. Anakin Skywalker Force Choke and Force Scream. Before his days spent in a menacing black suit choking out Imperial higher-ups, Anakin Skywalker was, well, choking out Separatist higher-ups, as well as anyone he so pleased. But a power less obvious land Force Choke was Anakin's Force Scream, an enraged shriek which triggered shockwaves that rippled through the Force. Skywalker's first demonstration of this ability came in 22 BBY, when he defeated Asajj Ventress in a lightsaber duel on Yavin 4. He soon thereafter unleashed Count Dooku's name during the recapture of Tyth. Such power and velocity shook entire buildings and ripped roofs straight from their structures, and just like the Force Choke, Anakin continued to scream at the top of his lungs as a Sith Lord, most notably doing so after the death of his wife, Padme Amidala. So there we have it, 8 Jedi who used dark side Force powers. Were there any that we missed? Let us know in the comments below. If you learned something new from today's video, make sure to leave a like, and if you haven't already, press that subscribe button and notification bell to keep it locked here to the Kankazans.